Just saw Mark walk in. I don't know where he went.
Well, it is after 12, so let's call this meeting to order. First up, introductions. I'm Diane Flowers, BPAC Chair.
You gotta turn your microphone on and then have it relatively close to your.
Just hold down that button a little bit longer. There you go.
You can keep it on.
Wendy Holzman, BPAC member.
Thank you.
It's just that kind of day. Tanya Saltzman, staff, county staff liaison.
You can keep it on, yeah. Jennifer Letts, BPAC Vice Chair.
Dave Rose, BPAC.
Kim Curley, BPAC member.
Bob Nash, Redmond representative, BPAC member.
And who we got online?
Let's start with Dave Green. And you're muted.
David Green, BPAC Vice Chair.
Just want to name them off.
Matt?
Matt Muchna, BPAC member.
Michelle? Michelle, can you hear us?
I'm not sure. Did I hear my name?
Yes.
Like I should. Okay, thank you. Sorry, I couldn't hear it. Michelle Rhodes with Ben Lapine Schools. Hi, everybody.
Let's see. And Anthony?
Yeah, Anthony Antonelli, Lapine BPAC rep.
Whitney? Sorry, I'm having trouble reading.
I think I heard my name. Right? Whitney Bennett, City of Bend.
And I can go next. Eva Richardson with Commute Options.
And last but not least?
Chris Chang, ODOT. I'm eating lunch, so I'll be off camera.
Thanks. Okay. And I think, Mark, you came in since we. Okay.
BPAC.
All right. Great. So we have a full agenda of sisters today, all things sisters. I know that we have some concern about the updates being short, but with the groups that we have, I appreciate that everybody shows up and has things to say, provides great information. But for this month and next month, we are in Redmond. So sisters this month and Redmond next month, and those are really about what's going on in those areas. So I realize that we may be short on time again today, but just bear with us. And if there's something really needs to be there, we need to know immediately, or we don't get time for it. If you send me a note, I can make sure that we do know. Everybody gets it. So, all right. I'm gonna turn it over to Jennifer and everybody in Sisters.
All right, well, thanks everybody for coming. I really appreciate that. It's always great when people find their way up north here. And thank you for everybody online participating. So wanted to give you kind of two viewpoints. One is going to be a presentation from our Public Works Director, Jackson Dumanche, on what's going on inside city. And then Stephanie Presley from Sisters Trail Alliance is going to talk a little bit about what she's doing outside the city and kind of the greater Sisters Country area, a little more recreational focus, but I think they're doing some amazing stuff. So hopefully you'll find this all interesting / inspirational / give us your feedback, and I will hand it over to Jackson.
All right, one moment while I go ahead and share my screen. Are folks online able to see that?
All right, thumbs up.
All right, thank you everybody. As Mayor Letts said, my name is Jackson Dumanche with the Public Works Department here at City Sisters. I'm just going to kind of run through some bike and ped infrastructure projects that we've been working on and some projects that we are looking at in the future. So some recent projects that you folks may remember, McKinney Butte Road. That was raised crossings near our school campus area, our North Pine Street multi-use path, creating a loop around the Forest Service Ranger Station. Hood and Pine intersection, four-way stop. That was a challenging intersection where, sorry, somebody in the chat had an issue.
Yeah, audio is challenging.
Oh, it's very quiet.
Yeah.
How about now?
Better.
Okay. So back to the Hood and Pine intersection, four-way stop. That was a challenging intersection. Had a lot of close calls, so we made the decision to turn that into a four-way stop, made it a lot safer, made a lot of drivers and pedestrians a lot more comfortable. The big one, as a lot of you folks probably saw coming into town, was the US 20 Locust Roundabout is complete, and we're just working on our landscaping project for that. Trees are in, shrubbery and flowers and small plants are currently growing as fast as they can. Next, Gateway Park and Mobility Hub. Phase 1 was substantially complete. There's just a little bit of on-street parking that just got paved the other day, so we should be seeing striping in the next couple weeks on that. And Barclay Drive Phase 1 was complete, showing the improved cross-section for that corridor. We still have a stretch from Larch to Pine Street to complete that entire corridor project. And not exactly a city project, but the first RRFBs, that's a rectangular rapid flashing beacon in town, were put in as part of the Sisters Woodlands Phase 3. That is crossing US 20 at the intersection with Sisters Park Drive, kind of over by Bimard, if anybody's familiar.
It helps connect people to the Gateway Park Mobility Hub, Transit Center,
Labyrinth.
and soon to be Dog Park.
Yes.
And some bike paths over there.
One project that we've been talking about for a while, we just went out to bid for this one.
Yay.
So I believe bids close in June. And this one is the Elm Street multi-use path. This puts in up pedestrian facilities where none currently exist on South Elm Street, connecting Village Green Park to the Peterson Ridge Trail system, and does involve a pedestrian bridge crossing Whitechoose Creek. That is separate from the vehicular bridge. We felt that separating pedestrians from the vehicles was always the best option. So the path will meander through trees, give some distance from the roadway, will be our standard 8-foot wide multi-use path, allowing for bikes, runners, and plenty of volume for folks.
And Jack, it'll run on the right side of the road?
Yes, it will be on the east side of Elm Street.
Cool. My friend asked me about that just yesterday, so I can tell her progress is coming.
We are excited, yes. Working with the bridge manufacturers has been the biggest hurdle. Surprisingly, it's going to be delivered in one piece. We're just going to crane it in. Yep.
Wow.
I'm sorry? Off the top of my head, I don't recall. Just a little, I think just as, width. I believe it was 8 feet wide. I believe so. We wanted it wide enough so that we could get our little mobile snowplow that we use for pathways, but not wide enough where a vehicle, passenger vehicle, might be inclined to try to drive over. Yep, that's on the left there, showing the intersection of Elm and Jefferson by Village Green, where it will connect, and then on the south side of Tyee and Elm Street, connecting to the Peterson Ridge Trail system. Another one, I think you folks saw this last year, is our North Locust Street pedestrian improvements. We are putting the final touches on the plans for this one. Again, the only existing crossing is one east-west crossing at the southern clouded out box at Locust and Cascade. It's not a great crosswalk as it is, where a pedestrian has to stand on the west side. They're kind of hidden from one side by a very large electrical pole. So we're going to be adding another east-west crossing on the south side of the intersection, improving all four corners, and getting that pedestrian ramp out from behind that electrical pole. So closing the crossing distance, improving the ADA ramps, as well as removing the, I believe it is a right turn lane on the eastern leg of that intersection. When the school was there, we got a lot of traffic, drop off and pick up, where that turn lane really came in handy. Right now, it's not used so much, and we have some concerns with the crossing distance of pedestrians.
Yeah, this is the intersection that's just right here on the other side of the wall. And so that the old school is now our Parks and Rec facility. So, you know, we want more and more use of that facility, and obviously it would be great if people can walk there safely. So this is going to be exciting to get that done.
The middle shaded box is a crossing existing ADA ramp on the western side of the street, no landing pad on the east side. So we will be constructing a landing ramp on the east side, striping it, and then redoing the ramp on the western side of the street. Yes. On the northernmost shaded box, Black Butte Avenue, again, no existing pedestrian facilities all the way down Black Butte Avenue, and no crossing. So we will be adding a crossing, pedestrian path all the way down Black Butte Avenue, connecting to some existing paths that run south from that street. And we will be putting in rapid flashing beacon at that crossing with Locust, because the speed does increase there to 35 miles per hour, and our traffic engineer advised that that would be a perfect place for a rapid flashing beacon. So that will be the city's first rapid flashing beacon when we do put that in. And a little bit more detail on those intersections. Any questions before I move on? Another one I've talked about in the past that we just started on the 20th of April is the Adams Avenue streetscape. This is going to be bringing that whole corridor and the adjacent, oh, sorry, I see a hand up.
Yeah, thanks. These streets are 2 lanes with 1 traffic lane in each direction. Is that right?
For Adams, yes.
And on Locust, where you're going to put the RFB?
Yes, one north lane, 1 south lane.
Okay, thanks. Bend doesn't typically put those in, and I'm trying to understand why the difference. So thank you.
Yep, I will say that crossing there does get used, even though it's not formally marked, by children trying to get to Cliff Clemens Park, which is to the west. And also there's an existing north-south trail system there. Gets so much traffic, you can see the edge of the asphalt on the edge of the road wearing down from folks crossing there.
Wow.
Adams Avenue streetscape, again, bringing this corridor and the adjacent side streets into the same design aesthetic you see the rest of downtown. Sidewalks, diagonal parking. We will have some parallel parking on the eastern end of the corridor, which is a bit more residential. Diagonal parking on the western end, where we have more commercial facilities. And again, on the more residential side, meandering multi-use paths. On the western end, concrete sidewalks and street trees, bulb-out planters, again with trees, shrubs, plants, everything to make it look and feel like the rest of downtown. For this corridor, we did not go with bike lanes. Rather, the sidewalks and multi-use paths are oversized to allow for bicycles to be on those areas. And the east-west pedestrian crossings, you can kind of see they're greened out. That's a green east-west marking along with our standard crosswalk markings, just to indicate to drivers that bicyclists will be using that.
Do we have any limitations on users on that?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Do you have any limitations on the type of users on that?
I'd have to consult our code, but I don't know off the top of my head.
I seem to recall our code doesn't restrict wheeled things on our sidewalks, but I would have to double check that.
I believe there's some language identifying a downtown core where bicycles are either prohibited or not encouraged, but I believe this is outside of that area.
And this is being paid for by, I think we got a loan, right, from the URA. So we have an urban renewal agency, so a little taxing district downtown. This will probably be one of the last big projects we do with it. But kind of leveraging that funding and that ability to borrow money to pay for this. So if you're into that kind of stuff.
Details.
Yeah. Dave?
Does your code distinguish between multi-use paths and sidewalks for bike use?
Probably not.
I want to say it's more of a matter of the width of the pathway.
Yeah, I think it's worth looking at, especially as, you know, the world keeps evolving with e-bikes and scooters and all these kind of things that we need to try to stay ahead of that. Yeah.
Oh, was the question related to e-bikes?
No, I don't think so, Dave. Is it?
No, not really. I mean, that makes it more complicated, but maybe Chris Chang can add to this, but I think that a multi-use path is considered any sidewalk-like thing greater than 6 feet in the state. And I think at least some cities have different rules for bike use on sidewalks and multi-use paths.
I feel summoned. Let me clarify. There is no official distinction on where's that separation from a sidewalk to a wide sidewalk to a shared use path. There is no actual legal distinction there, so there are some things in state law. And so there are some clarifications that can be done at the city level. So it depends on that, but otherwise it depends on what people call it. So yeah, there are a lot of local ordinances, and I can't speak for sisters, but like City of Bend, downtown Bend, no bike riding on the sidewalks. So sisters might have their own. It sounds like they do.
I wish I had instant recall on all of our code. Unfortunately, I do not. Another project that went out to bid, and we have a contractor on for this one, is the Camp Polk multi-use path. This is where North Locust transitions into Camp Polk. This is north of Barclay Drive and connecting to Sun Ranch over by the airport. There is currently no pedestrian facilities here. Again, it's going to be a meandering asphalt multi-use path connecting the new pedestrian infrastructure from Barclay Phase 1 to a dead-end sidewalk that was installed as part of development for the property on the corner up there. I believe it was a distillery. I think I have a better photo on the next slide as well. Here we are. So south is to the left, north is to the right. A few trees do have to get removed out of this one. There's a strip of 6 Norway spruces that are in poor health in our right-of-way that were removed as part of this. And then 2 junipers smack in the middle of the right-of-way where no matter which side we went, there'd be significant root disturbance. So our Urban Forestry Board did recommend removal for those 2 junipers.
But it doesn't go beyond, like, out to the airport or the other area?
There's existing paths
Oh, okay. So it's
that
connecting.
continue on from there.
Okay.
There isn't any way to as far as Sage Meadow, is there? Or on a path?
Our paths terminate at the city limits
Okay.
on that road.
So, sure, you're getting out of city limits there.
Anthony, is the sound any better? I saw something pop up about something in the chat about buzzing. Yes, no, maybe. Okay. Yeah. Off and on.
Yeah, we're investing in a new sound system, I think, this year, so sorry about that. If
Yeah,
it gets
no,
really bad,
it's all good. I
let's
just wanted to
myself
make sure it wasn't just me or if it was everybody else.
Yeah.
It's in your head.
You're hearing things.
But I know, right? That wouldn't surprise me at this point.
Yeah.
You sound really good up there.
Yeah, you sound great. Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
No buzzing on your end.
Yeah.
If anybody online needs me to repeat anything or go back up, please let me know.
All right. Maybe it's a South of Bend issue.
For those of you that ventured a little further into downtown, you will have noticed the curb ramps throughout downtown are being replaced.
All of them at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
So you cannot walk through downtown safely at all. I tried yesterday. It was a disaster.
They are making a very, very good push to have this done, I believe, by the end of the month.
Oh, wow.
So
I imagine before summer and Memorial Day weekend.
yes, they want to get out of here for the busy traffic when a lot of the businesses get a lot of their business during this busy summer months. So rather than protract this over the whole year, they're trying to get it done in one fell swoop. And they've been doing a really good job coordinating with business owners, giving them updates, hand delivering notices to the businesses that they're in front of.
That's good.
So we have made safety improvements since this photo has been taken. But that doesn't mean we can't stop looking at the corridor. Considering concerns with safety on Cascade Avenue / Highway 20, we did conduct a road safety audit with Kittleson and Associates. They performed an audit, so over the course of 24 hours, they did several observation periods where they were out there walking the corridor, crossing, and just watching how traffic and pedestrians behaved in that whole corridor. They put together a list of near and long-term suggestions and even some potential pilot projects. We put together a group of stakeholders, so that was members of the Sisters Downtown Business Association, a few members of the city's Public Works Advisory Board, Mayor Letts, you were on that as well, and some other city staff members. That group was polled for what they thought would be the best of the both near-term and long-term suggestions. So we did close that survey at the end of the month, and we're going to use that information as well as some suggestions from the Public Works Advisory Board at their meeting next week, Tuesday, and then recommendations from City Council on next steps.
Yeah, this was just kind of a quick and dirty in response to, a pedestrian accident and fatality we had a few months ago downtown. And that's why it was only a 24-hour observation. But we just felt like, it was really important to really just take, I don't want to say advantage of that, but just respond to that. And yeah, I'm hoping some of these recommendations are, in theory, there's some low-hanging fruit things we can roll out pretty quickly. Signage things like that. So hopefully we'll see at least a few of these things being implemented within the next couple months.
Many of them are pretty simple solutions. So the trick is to find which solution will have the most impact. You don't want to make a change and it not have any impact. I'm sorry, was there something in the chat?
No,
Oh, Chris has to go early.
Oh.
No, he said he put some stuff in there.
Sorry, I guess I can hop off mute if that's okay. So ODOT does have some secret money that we got. There's some incredibly random funding. It's actually OHA funding. but we'll be able to implement some of these short-term solutions, and then we'll also be able to do some of the planning studies for that long-term work with potentially implementing by October of 28. So I'm actually filling out the paperwork for that now, and as anybody who's dealt with stuff knows, government paperwork is not easy, even for government people. So hoping to kick that off very soon.
Thanks, Chris.
Awesome.
Hey, Chris, is that the OHA rural transformation money?
Correct.
Thank you.
And that's all I have. Any questions, comments, concerns?
Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Got a lot going on.
I see a hand.
Is that for me?
Yep. Go ahead,
Okay.
Michelle.
Hi. This is really interesting and exciting to see what's happening in Sisters. And I was wondering just what's the general temperature reading from the community, and to the extent that you can read the temperature of visitors going through Sisters, or coming into view and experience Sisters as a destination. I'm just curious what the general temperature reading is for all of these wonderful improvements for safety. And I think I heard that the the business community downtown is supportive of the ADA curb ramp installations, which is great to hear. But just any general feedback about the temperature reading, I'd love to hear that.
I think some of the smaller projects are a little bit more localized to neighborhoods, like those multi-use paths, especially the Elm Street path on the south side of town. That bridge is one of the primary ways folks can get into the downtown core, and it's a very pedestrian-friendly area of town, with the exception of that bridge. It just creates a bottleneck. So we do have some folks that are supportive of that project. I've seen the motorized wheelchairs crossing on that bridge. It's very scary to see, so I'm very excited about that pedestrian bridge going in there. The road safety audit, the businesses are very much in favor of that one because they want the people that visit their businesses to be safe. The broader community, I think, is very interested in us continuing with the Barclay Drive alternate route plan, and adjacent to that, the North Locust corridor safety improvements, adding more pedestrian crossings there. Downtown summer, it is a lot of traffic, a lot of truck traffic. Fortunately, we can't divert the truck traffic onto Barclay because the highway through town is a federal freight route. So until we continue making progress on Barclay, all we can do is recommend that folks take that route.
Are you?
Is that considered the kind of like the bypass route? Is that the one you're talking about, Barclay?
Yes, the alternate route.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just I mean, especially when there's a lot of longtime residents sometimes view these kinds of situations as major change, and sometimes it's hard to navigate and handle or manage that change process for communities that are not used to this. So, yeah, I'm glad to hear that it's going reasonably well.
Mark, would you just hold that microphone? Those are a little more sensitive.
Okay. So question I have is, let's say 100% of your traffic used to roll through town, and now you have a way or bypass, whatever you want or don't want to call it. Are you seeing what percentage is actually taking it and starting to get a feel for that?
Not yet. We have traffic counters are currently deployed in a neighborhood, but the next deployment for those will be on that alternate route, on both legs of the roundabouts there, to see just what kind of volume we're getting.
And did you have traffic counts on 20 coming through beforehand?
I believe ODOT did some traffic counting on that one not long after the roundabout was completed here on Locust. So I don't know if that data is very useful, considering that the roundabout had just been finished. Right. I think that the alternate route, again, something that we have to recommend to folks is going to be something that's learned. You know, once Google Maps starts to see that, you know, your little pocket computer is traveling faster down Bar Cascade, we'll start making that recommendation to folks.
Okay, thanks.
I think that was sort of the dream when we first started trying to get this through. And just the idea that the more people in the summertime are crossing streets and trucks have to stop, the more, faster they can go if they go around. But there's also more businesses starting up out there too, so that means there's more pedestrian and other traffic. So it's going to be interesting to see.
I can tell you, I go to the valley a lot, and I always take the bypass. Summertime, the bypass is always faster. Wintertime, it's a toss-up because if you're going eastbound, for some reason traffic backs up on 20 coming into Sisters. So that means there can be a lot of cars going through the roundabout through Sisters. And that situation, going through town can be faster than the bypass.
Yeah, and I think the improvements on Locust Street, I think were kind of locals or people, in that neighborhood, I think, voicing their concerns, safety concerns, because there really wasn't a good place to cross there. So I think, to Michelle's comment, that was something that was community-driven, along with some, I think, crosswalks that Kathy Russell here in our audience helped in another part of town. I think we added how many? One or two? Okay, yep. So, nice thing about a small town, usually, access government, and sometimes that's a good thing, so. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Jackson.
All right. Yes, that'd be
Yes. Probably that one. You turn it on.
Good afternoon. Can you all hear me online? David's not even
Yep.
present.
Yep.
I'm Stephanie Presley. I'm the Executive Director of Sisters Trails Alliance. I've been with STA for 2 years now, and thank you for the invite. I'll try to make it short. I know you guys' time is valuable. But we just thought it'd be interesting for you to hear how Sisters Country Trails are kind of connecting our community. Next slide, Jackson. So last year, the Forest Service made a decision for the Sisters Trail Addition and Realignment Project. And this is the first major trail expansion in Sisters Country in 15 years. We've built a few other smaller trails since then, but this will help us to achieve our Sisters Country vision, which is our community roadmap. And this will help us to achieve the strategy of expanded trail system and improved or an increase in outdoor recreation opportunities for people. We have a collaborative project team, so we're working with our partners at Oregon Equestrian Trails, Central Oregon Trail Alliance, Save Our East Cascade Trails, and Friends of the Central Cascade Wilderness. And we were recently awarded an Oregon State Park Recreational Trails Program grant, so we'll be able to complete the STAR projects over the next couple of construction seasons. So not everybody got everything they wanted when we started planning 8-9 years ago, but everybody got high priority asks, so we've got trails for everybody. So the STAR project includes 19 trail actions. There'll be 4 new trail constructions, including, you can see on the bottom of the left-hand map, Trail H is an exciting technical mountain biking trail that will tie into the PRT. In the middle of the screen there, the lettered trails will be adding existing Forest Service roads and user trails into the equestrian trail system and connecting those with a few new trail segments so people can access Sisters Cow Camp and Whispering Pines Horse Camp. We have some wilderness trails that have been pretty much closed since the B&B complex fire way back when that will be opened up again, and new trail connecting to make some cool, longer wilderness routes. And then STA will be leading up some reroutes closer into town, including the Sisters Tie reroute, which is out the end of Pine Street. And then the Sisters Crossroad reroute will go to the Cold Springs Campground on Highway 242. So there'll be some cool routes that'll be created. And then we have one trail abandonment at Dry Creek.
What does that mean?
We're going to decommission a trail. It's basically not usable at this point because of fire, but so it'll just basically be a closed trail. Yeah. Another really exciting kind of multi-year, multi-phase project that we just started working on last year is our Accessible Trails project. We just received funding from Visit Central Oregon Future Fund. Very excited about that. And we've been accepted into the Travel Oregon Recreation Ready program, which will begin in 2027. So this year, you can see part of our team out there on a group ride last year. Amber Alvarez is the young lady in the Adventure. Some of you may know Jeff Babb and Ben, that is the inventor of the Adventure, and he's on our accessibility committee. And we were doing our first group ride with the team. We've contracted Empowering Access to do an assessment team training this summer, and they'll be teaching us how to go out and rate our trail system for accessibility for adaptive mountain bikes and other mobility devices like the Adventure. And we'll be starting on the Peterson Ridge Trail system and our city connector trails this year. So next year, once we've collected all of our georeference data of what trail improvements we might be able to make, what trails are rated as accessible or not accessible, and for what type of equipment. We'll be working with Travel Oregon, and they'll be providing technical assistance for most of 2027 and helping us to develop an action plan of what infrastructure improvements we can make, information sharing that we can do online, on trail apps, and then a marketing plan with the goal of making Sisters Country a accessible adventure destination for Central Oregon. The fun part about this is we'll be able to share information with the Deschutes Trails Coalition, with other organizations, so they can use this as a playbook to go out and rate their trail systems and hopefully make Central Oregon an accessible adventure destination for the Pacific Northwest. We're planning next spring an inclusive recreation community day, hopefully with our partners at Oregon Adaptive Sports as well. A really fun project we've been working on. The Sisters School District invited us to build a nature trail for our students so they have an outdoor learning space. So last year we had over 600 elementary and middle school and a few high school students work with us to build a nature trail. They went out there and they designed it. They flagged it, they measured it, they raked it, as you can see. We had over 600 students engaged in that project. It was tons of fun. And this provides an alternative route from the toll gate and crossroads and the school neighborhoods. So this is in front of the new elementary and middle school in the wooded area adjacent to Highway 242. So people can go and hop on the path instead of riding the paved bike path and have a little fun meandering through the woods, and then they pop back out onto the paved bike path and continue on down to Gateway. This spring break, we continued work on the nature trail and brought in 8 transfer loads worth of trail mix and bentonite and mixed it up to create a hard-packed accessible trail. So it's a little bit skinnier than the Waichus Creek or the Tollgate Trail, but they wanted this to feel more like a nature path than a wider accessible trail, but it is accessible for mobility devices and is already being used by students. We're working this summer on signage, so safety signs, wayfinder, and interpretive signs that are being designed by the students in art class. And then we imagine, hopefully this year, maybe next year, some art installations will be installed by our students.
That's a fun project.
Very fun
Yeah.
project.
How long is the trail?
About 3,200 feet long. Yeah. And it just winds
Kids do.
like kids do. It's great. So last year, the Deschutes National Forest did a rule change to allow Class 1 pedal assist e-bikes on selected trails. For Sisters Country, that includes the Peterson Ridge Trail System, as well as the Elk Ranch Trail, and then the Forest Service section of the Tollgate to High School Trail. Go ahead, yeah. So we've been working on our signage plan and getting signs installed so people know where Class 1 pedal assist e-bikes are allowed on the trail system. We did an outreach with the Forest Service and the Blazing Saddles Bike Shop to give people some education around the new rule change on e-bikes. And we'll be sending out messaging throughout the summer about trail etiquette. E-bikes are a bike, and trail etiquette will be the same for e-bikes as they are for other bikes. So we'll be working on that throughout the year. E-bikes are allowed from April 1st to November 30th because they are considered motorized, and so they're subject to the winter range closure. And then one last project we're working on, the Village Green Park has a kiosk that we installed, I think back in like 2014 or 15. And it shows the scenic bikeways that are within about an hour's drive of Sisters Country. So people can come and stay in Sisters and go do these scenic bike rides. The city's working on a signage plan, so there'll be new kiosks installed. So we're currently working on a new sign adding in the Ofterheide and the Shearer Falls bike routes, which have been added to the Oregon Scenic Bikeways in the last couple of years. Oh, yeah. So we're working on getting the signs, and temporarily we'll install the signs on the existing kiosks until the city gets around to building the new kiosks, which are going to be beautiful. So that's the final project we're working on. I've got my contact information. If anybody would like to get a hold of me, pretty easy. So Stephanie at Sisters Trails. And we're always posting news updates on our website. So any questions, thoughts, comments?
Thank you for all the work. I was in SDA like years and years ago when it first started up, and so this is very impressive, and I'm really happy to see all the good stuff.
Yeah, we're having fun.
Well, it's nice that, I'd like to say this was synergistic and we worked together, but it really didn't happen that way. But I mean, the city being able to start, some of these projects that Jackson talked about we're finishing trails or connecting trails, or especially the Elm Street one, which goes to Village Green, which is still a really popular place for people to park. There's really nice ADA accessible bathrooms there, right? So for the ability for somebody to be at that park and then have a path all the way to PRT and get on the trail there, and also, yeah, some connections from other trails to your trailheads as well. There's a couple of to be finished projects, but we're chipping them off, so that's exciting.
And hopefully with the Travel Oregon, we'll have some additional infrastructure and trailheads over the next couple of years.
Fantastic. Thank you. Excuse me.
That is very cool. My health bills.
Okay. Right.
Throw in there. We do have some public here. So is there any comment? We forgot to do that. I forgot to do that the first thing. So anything else that we would like to add or include? It's nice to have public here. Thank you for coming. All right, if not, we'll move on to approving of April minutes.
I move approval.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, April minutes have been approved. You can post them. All right, so the one committee business we have on here, expiring terms, we have one position that we're going to post for the county, the at-large position. That's already been posted. So if you know anybody that would like to do that, send them.
There's actually two.
Right.
Oh,
But do you post that one?
yes.
Okay.
It's all posted. We have a City of Bend. Dave is up for reappointment, and the recruiting for that position. So Dave is encouraged to apply. That's all through in the same posting on our county
I gotta say that that was
government.
a unique hit. Generally, really the body is really the sisters. It's almost automatic. And I got an email from Tanya saying that the mayor wanted to talk to me. And she never did call, but she sent me an email at 9 o'clock at night 3 days ago saying that she wanted to open it up for anybody and everybody. And then an anonymous person forwarded me an email that was sent out by city staff to a whole bunch of different places in Bend to see if they wanted to apply with a link. And I did reapply, but I thought it was a little odd, because it's never happened like that.
My audio cut out for me, just as a heads up. I don't know if that's true for anyone else online. I think there's one mic in the room that's not live or something like that.
I would concur, Matt. Yeah, it's been happening off and on.
Oh, well.
Did you have a hard time hearing Dave Rose? Is that what happened?
Dave is there? I didn't even know. Yeah, I think that's
Here, we'll switch mics and see.
okay.
Do I need to say it all over again? Okay.
Yeah, just a
Recap.
That's fine.
In the past, anybody that wants to reapply or do another term, it's just automatic. But in this particular case, I don't know if I upset the mayor at some point, but I got an email from Tanya saying that the mayor wanted to talk to me. The mayor never called me, but I got an email a few nights ago at about 9 o'clock at night saying she wanted to open it up. And then an anonymous person forwarded me an email that had been sent out by city staff to different organizations inside Bend saying that this position was open with a link. And I did reapply, but I thought the whole thing was a little tacky and a little rude because it's never happened this way before. So I don't know what I did make the mayor mad at me, but I evidently did.
I don't have anything to respond to that. Yeah.
Just as an FYI, technically, yeah, it's definitely not precedent, but it is permitted. When Diane and I went to the Board of County Commissioners to ask about the non-city people who are up for reappointment, there was some discussion about, there was a moment where they were going to possibly recruit for all of those positions as well, which they've never done. I convinced them otherwise. I think we both did, just because that would be 4 additional vacancies. So we have 1 at large because Megan Winchell is not continuing with BPAC. But so yeah, there is one Bend and 1 at large. Those close on May 22nd, and you can get to it through our county website. I can send the link directly. I don't think I posted it on the BPAC website yet. My bad. We just switched our website, so everything's slightly broken, but it's totally under control. And for those of you who are at large, who have requested reappointment, you don't need to do anything. You have not officially been reappointed yet. That'll happen during consent agenda in a subsequent board meeting, but just hang tight and we'll get you through it. So thanks for your patience, everyone. Yes, and the City of Sisters is going to be discussing that at May yeah, you know better than I do. It's sort of awkward because I had to email Jennifer to be like, so, Mayor, what should we do about your reappointment?
It could be that you could be out of a job completely. So Tanya?
Yes.
Did you get my application?
I don't get them until it closes because it goes through HR.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so, but I will know to look for it.
And I'm going to get, I have nothing to back this up on. I'm going to guess that it was a personal, it just seems like we have a lot of committees here. Sisters, Redmond does, everybody's got committees. Sometimes it's just cleaner. And this is good, something we could look at our charter, our rules as well.
Oh, I'm sure she's fully in her rights to do it. It just never happened before.
Mayor Letts, we can no longer hear you now. That microphone is the thanks.
Well, thought I was going to get that with a phone call, but the phone call never came. So.
Okay, so that's our expiring terms. So next year we'll get to go through this again with the rest of us.
Yeah.
The other half.
Yeah.
So hopefully that won't happen. But anyway, do we have any updates from our working groups? I think, Dave, you have COAC that you met since we've met last time.
Yeah. It wasn't too much.
Microphone. It's on.
It's on.
This is where
Just make it close. Yeah.
The state committee put together a bunch of short-term things that could be capital investment plans that we went through and decided which one were the top 5, the next 5, the next top 5. And I think this comes from the school fund area, which of course nothing's going to happen right away. But most of the meeting was that. The only other thing was state is looking for a flap grant to extend 4 lanes on Highway 97 south of Vanderbilt Road for 3 more miles. And it was discussed whether they're going to put an interchange in Vanderbilt instead of that kind of odd thing that's there now, but it's no interchange is included. It's just an extension. That was it.
So since, let's see, I wasn't here in, was it here? No, it was since then. Okay, so we did have a meeting. Did Chris leave already? Okay. So there was a Deschutes Triangle, the Redmond Sisters, Bend meeting mid-April. And just talking about, oh, Chris, you are still there.
Still here. Sorry, about to leave. So, got 5
question for
minutes.
you. So we had the meeting in April regarding the Deschutes Triangle. When we went to the commissioners meeting, they seemed a little surprised or unaware that we were doing any of that. Is that something that we should be providing them information with, or is that Don and that group should be providing some information to the commissioners?
Great question. We've been coordinating with staff, so staff is aware. I'm not sure how that interaction goes at that county level from staff upwards or downwards. So
yeah,
I don't know that it's the role of BPAC or anything, but that's why we have staff liaisons typically with cities and counties.
We just threw you under the bus.
Sorry, not trying to throw Tanya or anybody else under the bus there, but yeah, I don't know, right? Just like I don't brief OTC on stuff in general. That typically comes through different levels of the bureaucracy.
Okay.
How that oversight works up and down is
yeah, I'm not aware either. Tanya, do you have any insight to that?
Not really. Presumably, is the
Sorry, we can't hear Tanya either. That's that broken mic.
Developed and there's actual kind of meetings or documents or something that could be elevated. But I can ask around how that works.
I can't hear anything that y'all are talking about.
Okay, I didn't say anything exciting. It's
okay.
Okay, so back to that meeting and the updates from that. So really this is just kind of the precursor of trying to figure out trails and where they might go. There was conversation around the Highway 126, and Chris, feel free to jump in and correct me anytime. The 126 and crossing bridges near over the Deschutes. And how far afield do we go? In other words, how far off the roads do we go? Do we go into BLM land? I will try and get the proposed options of different routes posted to our shared drive, so members can take a look at that and see what that looks like. But there's still conversation around there's no set plan by any stretch at this point of what the recommended routes are. Chris, I thought there was going to be a opening for public input, and I haven't seen anything else. Have you seen anything on that?
Yes, that should open up in the next week or so. So the open house, so that'll have all those alternate routes and some other conversations as well.
Okay.
So people can see some of those considerations we're looking at, trade-offs. And then I'll mention really quick, there's some larger conversations within there as well, right? Like how far off the highway do we go? What feels safe? What feels good? What's a reasonable amount? But also surfacing types, right? Do we have to look at these ODOT 10 to 12 foot multi-use path the entire way? Do we look at different surfaces? Do we look at mixes of surfaces? So a lot within there. I'll share that open house link as soon as I have it, but that should be in the next few weeks or within this month for sure.
Yeah, we'll make sure it sends it out to the distribution group that gets our agendas.
I know in a conversation with Stephanie with Sisters Trail Alliance that she had interest in maybe being involved in some level. I don't know what the participation of the organization is, but I said I would ask, so I'm asking what an organization like hers could do in this process at this moment.
Yeah, I'll pass her name on so we can potentially add her to the pack or anything. I'm not in control of that, but I'll let our consultants and our team know.
Okay, I'll get you her contact information if you don't have it.
Thank you. Yeah, if you can send me an email, that'd be perfect.
Okay.
David?
Yeah, Chris, will that be only an online open house or will there be a physical presence also?
Only online open house at the moment. It's kind of dispersed, so we don't really have space capacity for, 3 separate open houses all over the place. There will be some more targeted outreach, so I would love to do some more potential in person through that as well. So we may be reaching out to some interested stakeholder groups as we go, right? So these might be more targeted as, hey, when we're looking at those Redmond connections, maybe we'll focus on reaching out to the Redmond folks, right? The set stuff around Ben, that might be more Ben focused. So we're looking into that, but we haven't formalized that full open house and specific one.
Thanks, Chris.
I have a quick question for Chris. Could we provide an update maybe in the next month or two about the possible trailhead for the pathway to Lava Lance?
We won't have an update by then. I'm sorry, I need to hop off after this. I have some chat. So I have quick updates. I'll put them in chat. But we won't have an update. We're applying for FLAP for it. So we're working through a lot of conversations with Ben Parks and Rec, Deschutes County, some other folks on what that looks like, what we can make fit, how that all pieces together. But that project's ongoing. So that first phase is still happening, starting at the end of this year, construction next. And then we're still planning that sort of next phase as part of the paving project from Romaine Village to somewhere, Lava View to Romaine Village, maybe, where we'll build the second part of that multi-use path. But yeah, a lot of moving parts, and I won't have an update within a month, but I'm glad to tell you more in depth what we do, what we're trying to work through.
Great, I appreciate that. Thanks.
Thanks. And I'm going to throw some stuff in the chat, but I have to hop off now. Great to see everybody.
Thanks, Chris. Okay. options. Is Ava still on?
Yes, I am. Do you want me to start with
Yes.
updates?
Yes, please.
Cool. I don't have too much. Just a reminder, our May Walk and Roll Challenge started on Monday and it's running through May 17th. And this is not just a commute only challenge, it's for all trips, all walking, biking, rolling trips. So everybody make sure you're logging your trips if you haven't already, and we'll be giving away a bunch of gift cards to local businesses like Foot Zone, El Sancho, other restaurants around town. And then we just wrapped up our April commute challenge on April 26th. This was a statewide challenge. We had 236 workplace networks participate in that challenge with almost 5,000 trips logged during the 2 weeks. And a special shout out to the Deschutes County IDD team, who were the overall winners in the small employer category. So they won a fun prize. So great to see some representation there. And then this week we had May Welcome to School Day yesterday and the Bend Bikeways Reveal group ride hosted by the City of Bend yesterday in collaboration with us and Bend Bikes, which was a great success. I think there was around 60 people there to learn about the new traffic diverters in town. So that was a really fun event. But yeah, that's it from me.
Thank you. Michelle?
Did I hear Michelle?
Yes, you did hear Michelle. Oh, Derek's here too.
Thank you. Sorry. Hi, everybody. And my update will be mostly pictures. I think a picture says it all. And I'm going to share my screen real quick. Uh-oh, I'm trying to find it on this particular. Oh, there we go. Share it. Okay. Let me know if you can see this picture, please.
Yes, we can see it.
Great. This is a picture of the Jumpstart training that was held on April 15th at the Lapine Parks and Recreation District gym. They are kindly offered the use of their gym for the day, and 8 Ben Lapine School PE teachers and 1 PE teacher from Powell Butte Charter School and 1 commute options employee attended, and so it was well received, and it was just fun to see adults having fun and learning new skills or refreshing those existing skills on how to train our young folks how to be safe out there when they're walking and rolling. So there's that picture. And then yesterday, as was already mentioned, Ben Lapine Schools and Commute Options held numerous walk and roll to school day events yesterday. Here's a picture of Juniper Elementary yesterday, and according to the school principal, it was probably the biggest attended, most well received event so far in many years at Juniper Elementary. And here's one more picture of the Juniper kids. And then I wanted to give a big shout out. Ignore the person on the left, that's me. But most importantly, I wanted to acknowledge these other volunteers. You'll see our friend David Green there, as well as numerous people from Ben Bikes, Andy Neary, and Chris already left, but his wife Alyssa was there. And then in the middle, there was a high school student. This is the high school student who is representing Central Oregon on the Safe Routes to School high school task force. And his name is Micah, and he was the organizer of the event. So a big shout out to Micah, who's not here, but I've given him a big shout out via email. And again, a big thanks to Ben Bikes, because Ben Bikes has been wonderful supporters to all these events that are happening in our schools. And, we just can't do it alone. It really does take a village and a community to make these events happen and have it go safely. And kids are having lots of fun. That's happening. And then also we submitted 4 grant requests to ODOT for the Safe Routes to School program, and fingers crossed that hopefully all of them will get funded, but we'll see. One of them is to create a Safe Routes to School plan for the Lapine community, which will include Roslyn Elementary and Lapine Elementary and Lapine Middle School and High School. So it's really a very focused plan that then the City of Lapine and Deschutes County can use to help reinforce reinforce and supplement Safe Routes to School construction grant requests that might come up in the next year for them. So we're trying to support those efforts. And then the last thing I'll end on is Roslyn Elementary just completed its pedestrian and bicycle safety education for grades 3 through 5. And I was there the last couple of weeks, bright and early all day to help with that bike safety education training. And then starting Monday, Lapine Elementary is also doing its bike safety education. And it will continue through the month of May, also grades 3 through 5, but the pedestrian is for all the students. So we're just getting out there and getting a lot of education done with our young folks so that they can be as safe as possible. So again, thanks for all our volunteers, and thank you for the time. And if anybody has any questions, let me know.
Thanks, Michelle. It's nice to hear that the kids are learning early. Hopefully it sticks. Let's see. Derek, what do you got for us?
Okay. Hey, everyone. Derek Hoffbauer, City of Bend Mobility Programs Manager. Just a couple updates. One, as many of you know, we have Miss Whitney Bennett is now with the City of Bend. She's on our team. She's our new transportation planner. Super happy to have her helping out. She's going to be working on a lot of our safety data, working on school-related campaigns, and doing a lot of outreach. And took part in our event last week and did a great job. And I have some photos to share from that. Eva, you kind of stole my thunder on the event blurb, but it's okay because I have some photos. So Whitney, I don't know, you want to jump in and say a few words about a little more eloquently than I did about what you're actually going to be doing here?
Well, I think thanks, Derek, and I'm happy to be come to be back in this with this hat on. I think going to be really like the outreach piece and finding out how people feel about what's happening and what people want is a lot of my role as well, and collecting data that's both qualitative and quantitative. So I am here to connect with. So I look forward to hearing a little bit more about what the needs are and getting out there on my bike and being part of making our community a safer and more connected place.
And there's Whitney there. So this is from our Bend Bikeways Reveal Ride. Want to thank our partners, Bend Bikes, Commute Options. We actually had Veo bikes there, the bike share. They were doing demos. Yeah, it was great. We had about Eva, I counted the people in the photos, and I got to like 64. So I'm gonna say 65, but over 60 is good. You got it right. No, it was great. We had a really good crew. Everybody was safe, responsible. The neighbors were stoked that we were out there. Didn't get any resistance. And then we ended it at Papi Chulu's, which was a very festive Cinco de Mayo atmosphere, and a very long line to get food and beverages. Yeah, and then I got one more photo to share. And I'm used to using Teams here. And this kind of leads me to the next topic, is that we are installing more of these Bend Bikeways wayfinding signs. So that's one thing that Whitney's working on. We have phase 1 done, which is Phil's Trail to downtown. So those signs are in if you guys have seen those. We're working on phase two, which is downtown to the Old Mill District. Whitney and I are riding out there this afternoon to go look at some of those signs. We have a plan, but the plan has a lot of signs in there. So we're trying to um, mitigate and find, like, can we just use one sign instead of two and place it in a different location to convey the same information, really just to give people directions on where these major destinations are, how long it'll take them to get there by bike, and the mileage. And then we're going to start implementing the other phases, which will basically go to the east side and then the north of Bend. So it's kind of a work in progress. We're hoping by the end of the summer we can get all these signs installed and identify our bikeways. And that's all I have for updates.
Derek, did you get any feedback from your ride on Tuesday?
We got a lot of feedback. Yeah. A lot of people like the intent of the modal filters, aka diverters. They don't like the aesthetics, and I couldn't agree with them more.
Aesthetics.
Yeah, I mean, it's, one of the neighbors when we first put him out pointed out, he's like, I look out my window and in these, concrete barrels, there's like 19 signs, like between all the stop signs and like it's a lot of signs. They're just kind of sticking up the intersection. And again, this is a pilot program. It's 2 years. We have Kittleson that's going to evaluate, traffic volumes and traffic counts and increases in bike ped activity. So that's the one we need to clean them up, right? And right now they're kind of in a pilot phase. So we don't have any of the striping in because we're readjusting them. That's kind of the beauty of doing the pilot program. And these are movable, right? So we can see like, oh, it's a large truck and another large truck trying to get through. We need to move this a little bit. Or bikes are having a hard time squeeze through. So we can kind of adapt as we go, but at some point we're going to need to kind of call it good and then put the striping in and install permanent signs. It's a lot of kind of temporary signs. So it just doesn't look as great as it will in the future. And there are also like some, ways of using like planter boxes and, like kind of more permanent kind of concrete structures that maybe look a little nicer in the future if we roll these out, in other neighborhoods. But we did have a woman named Sonia who stopped by and she gave a very compelling speech to the group. I think I like Councilor Mendez said everyone in her household has been riding a bike and has been hit by a car, like not fatally, that had just a lot of conflicts in that area. And she's like, this has made our neighborhood so much safer. People are walking their dogs right down the street, not even needing to use a sidewalk. And there's like kids biking on the street, and using the infrastructure. So it was just really good to have that support, on the neighborhood level. So yeah, a lot of good comments. Thanks, David, for organizing the ride and for the route. It was perfect. And thanks, Commute Options, for being there and giving bike lights to everyone. David, question.
Yeah, I know that some people have been complaining that the diverters are moving traffic onto other streets. Did you get any sense of that yesterday at the ride?
Not on the ride. I mean, that's kind of the inherent nature of these. It's like the goal is to push the vehicle traffic off of the bikeway, and it's inevitably going to flow to the other streets. I think it's kind of a little too early to start to kind of look at trends because I think over time, as people realize, these cut throughs are no longer existent, they're going to find different paths of travel and maybe they'll start taking Bond Street. And so I think, it's kind of a learning experience, like people's behavior and how they drive. Once they're used to knowing something's there, they'll kind of maybe start going in a different direction and not just like this next street over, right? Or they'll
Right.
find kind of a different way around using one of the, the arterial roads or a kind of a different route and still not trying to go through the neighborhood. And that's what the Kittleson study is going to do. It's going to do traffic volumes. We've got some speed radar up. We have before counts. We're doing after counts. So it's kind of a work in progress. But yeah, that's what people are telling us, that it's pushing traffic on other streets. But that's we need to keep our people riding bikes and walking and rolling safe from car traffic and get more people out biking and walking, and that's really our priority with this project.
I know some of the city councilors were really spooked by the very initial negative feedback, and it's really good that we're getting some different opinions and able to hold this on as a pilot that is long enough to actually tell us something. So
Yeah,
great.
I agree. I agree. Yeah, there is a lot of support from counselors. We had 3 counselors attend the ride, so they're all super happy that we're doing this work and creating these goals for a safer and better connected Bend.
Hey, Derek, on some of the streets that you can no longer turn onto, right? Because there's some of how they're laid out. Has that been put into Google or any of the mapping tools?
We actually got that question at the event, and I not sure. I need to follow up on that. Honestly, I know there's like a GTFS feed. Like when we worked at the transit, when I worked at for CET, we would upload like our new routes and detour information on the feed. And I just don't. I haven't connected with IT yet. I'm just trying.
Nikki's taking notes right now. I can
I'm
see.
trying to catch up from
Yeah.
the event. It was a lot of work planning this and doing it. I'm like trying to like get back to work, and I'm like, oh, now I got to follow up on all these things. So, but yeah, Whitney, write it down. We'll talk to IT. Thank
She's ahead
you.
of you.
I know. Thank God I have her. So, all right. Any other questions? I'm gonna need that. I'm gonna need to head out because I gotta get on my bike and go downtown and for another meeting. So,
And
Great.
Derek, I missed the meeting last month. I was in Victoria for another conference, and I took some pictures of some very nice looking diverters, and I will email them to you. So send me
please do. Please do. I would love to see examples. We've got a big neighborhood association meeting Tuesday night. There's an Old Bend annual meeting tonight that I'm going to go to. And, of course, they're going to ask me about the diverters, even though they're not supposed to. It's supposed to be like a pizza beer thing, but, those guys, they're going to start talking about it. So, but trying to do our part to represent the neighborhood and communicate with them some the benefits of this work that we're doing. So.
Great.
All
Thank you.
right. Thanks, everyone. I got to peel off. Bye.
Yeah.
I
Yeah. And welcome, Whitney. Nice to have you.
Thank you.
Anthony, anything from Lapine?
No, we're just still kind of cruising. It's just small town. There's like our planning commission meetings keep getting canceled because nothing to talk about. We're just sort of like sort of hanging. Next month we have the second meeting for the big TSP update and planning all that. It's almost like a white noise machine. Yeah. I have nothing to update. Not really. There's a lot of static going on.
What about now?
Still there.
Anthony, can you hear us?
I mean, kind of. It's over static.
How about now? Is this better? So, yeah, David, can you hear us? Yes. Okay. Anthony, are you there? Ah. Death by static shock, yes.
I thought if I left, it might fix it, but it didn't fix it, did it?
Hang on. Anthony? Oh. Try again.
Hi.
Hi.
It's kind of weird. Yeah.
Okay.
Not a lot to update. We're working on some stuff. We got the second meeting of the TSP update coming up next month, where some actionable items should be put into place. But yeah, we're just hanging out down here, just chilling.
Waiting for that summer. That's a good. Yep. All right, Mark.
We dare turn a microphone on down here?
Is his mic on, or did you turn that off?
Hear me? We'll go with yes on it anyway. So let's see. Our main going on. What kind of problems? Our main projects is we have the tunnel project that we're working on. It's like, honestly, I never thought geology was going to be that big of a problem. So we're working on a lot of
You find any more gas lines?
no more gas lines, but we're finding a swale that is a slippery swale that we have to drive piles down and all sorts of fun stuff. So like that bridge that happened at the line with Wilson, we're kind of dealing with the same kind of swales. So we're working our way through that. But like I said, that's the fun part about my job is I get to learn so much in the process. And so I'm figuring that out, and I still have a goal to get that done by this fall. That driving cost that back up $100,000 budget goals. And then we also put out our, I think I talked about our mapping, and everybody with Google Maps or Apple Maps doesn't work with pathways that well, especially on the roads. So we have a GIS person that can change from our public works from a regular tech position to a GIS person and developing the mapping all throughout Sun River with GIS now. So just the 40 signs in Sun River on the pathways that have strictly through what was the main GIS provider? Esri. It's all through Esri. It's mapping all of our pathway routes to that. So you can put in your house and where you're at, and it'll show you locations all on the pathways. It was a while to get there, but it actually worked out really good. So
I tried it out not too long ago.
did you?
Yeah, you can scan it and the sign.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Scan it. Did it work for you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I see people out there using the pathway, which we quit. We used to spend $10,000 to $20,000 a year on maps for pathways. This year we stopped that funding altogether to help fund some of the GIS stuff. And I've heard no negative feedback from using the paper maps if they have access to that. When summer hits, it might overload some of our internet connectivity. And so that will be a concern basically with bandwidth that we'll have for cell use. And that will be our next challenge. But we've got a huge amount going on. That's a super fun time right now. There you go.
So does this mean you have to either have a device to hold your phone or you have your phone in your hand while you're cycling so you can follow the map?
People will go until they get to a questionable intersection, and then they'll pull it out and take a look at it.
Okay.
That's the goal. Now, do people ride up with their looking at their phone the whole time anyway? Yes. So it's not going to make it any safer.
And it's not going to be.
It might make people
Less lost.
maybe less people on the pathway because they think they're going. So it'll take away from the Sun River experience. So, yeah, that's it.
Did you guys hear any of that? No. Could we move the mic?
Yeah, it was just Mark doing the Sun River update, tunneling, geology, And their GIS person finished the map, and there'll be kiosks where you can download the map, look at the map across Sun River, and they're trying it out this summer. All right, who else?
All right. So we've already had our sisters update.
Yep.
Bob?
So the city of Redmond is going to apply for, or is applying for a Safe Streets and Roads for All grant to support planning for a TSAP, which I thought was kind of interesting after our discussion of that last time. BPAC has put in for a Safe Routes to School educational grant. Of course, the big grants aren't there this year, but we're putting in for a smaller educational grant. Last time we talked about the recent controversy about e-bikes. The city council, after a lot of decided basically just to stay with the status quo, which really already bans e-motorcycles as motorized vehicles in the parks. They're looking at fine-tuning some of their language, improving some signage, but no great earth-shaking changes there. Sean Larson, our chairman, will be he will be the representative on the Deschutes Triangle Committee. I don't know that he's participated yet, but anyway. And then Sean Larson, he's our chair. And then we're looking forward to hosting you guys in a month. We're a little nervous because we don't have Sarah around to rely on anymore, you know, but no, it'll be good.
You take a day off and go to Redmond.
They may rent out. I think Tanya is helping Lindsay, getting her up to speed. So anyway, we're looking forward to that next month. That's all I have.
Thank you. Did you guys hear that online? No, still didn't hear that one.
You didn't miss anything.
So biggest thing is the city council has reworded language regarding, in Redmond regarding the e-bikes or motorcycles in the parks, but have not banned them because they're already banned.
They're already banned, yeah.
It's just more of an enforcement issue.
Double secret banned.
Okay. All right. I think have I missed anybody that's here? I don't.
Tanya for Deschutes County.
Try. Well, here. This one's working. Try that one. Try.
Can you guys hear me? Yes? Okay. Well, I'm relaying this from Tarek, who may be on parental leave effective today. Unclear, but that's not going in the minutes. But anyway, all of the road projects and capital improvements are available at our website, deschutescounty.gov/road/page/projects. Such an easy URL to get to, I know. That has updates on the Lower Bridge project, Tumalo Reservoir Road, which has been under construction. That should end soon in June, allegedly. Let's see, we had an open house for the Terrebonne Community Plan on April 7th. I think I've mentioned this to you guys before. It's mostly a planning kind of visioning project, but on our little poster station about what could be improved, lo and behold, everyone was complaining about traffic in Terrebonne. So that was interesting and not surprising. We will be circling back with the community at the end of the summer. So it's transportation adjacent. People were really split on walkability. Some people wanted it, some people really didn't want it, because they just feel it's a farming community. We don't want sidewalks, we don't want lights, we don't want any of it. So we're going to drill down on that because I found that fascinating. Let's see, that is kind of it for now, except for Baker Road Lava Butte multi-use pathway is expected to enter beginning construction phases in the next several months. That's all I have. Hopefully you heard some of that. Thanks.
Diane, one update from MPO, the Transportation System Action Plan open house is online right now. I put the link in the notes. I think it's open till May 15th, although I can't find it on their webpage right now. Michelle says yes, it is.
That's correct. It's not, I couldn't find it anywhere on their website either, but there was a news story saying that it was open until May 15th. But
Yeah.
it would be good for people to get in there and your comments and thoughts in there sooner than later in case the website shuts down sooner.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is they have an interactive map where people have been putting points on the map and talking about what problems are there or what suggestions you have. And it's very interesting and informative to look through those points because there are lots of them. And they have a lot of good ideas. People have had lots of good ideas.
Yeah, we're just trying to get all there's some other links I think that Chris sent as well that we'd like to get in the notes so that we can, or in some format so we can send them out. So everybody has access to them. Okay, great. All right, did I miss anybody else?
I have one question.
Yes.
I'm going to try to do this. Hello, can you hear me? Online? Hello? Yes. Oh, good. Okay, so may start out my weekend on Friday morning watching the governor's transportation vision work group, rebuilding our transportation vision work group. This is people who are going to make our new transportation package suggestions. The two chairs are Grace Kruniken and Bruce Hanna, neither of which I can see are currently doing Oregon transportation stuff. So there's a pile of people. There are a couple subcommittees. One is transit and one is safety, and you might want to tune in to that. They're on YouTube, and I can send a link to somebody.
You can send it to me and I'll send it out.
Okay, thank you. It may make you cranky, just saying.
All right, next month we are in Redmond, so that's where we will be. Also available online, we think. Yes? Okay. And thank you to Stephanie, Jennifer, and Jackson for hosting us and wonderful presentations. Really appreciate it. And I think that's all we have. All right. Meeting's adjourned. Not quite, but it's close.